So we're going to go to this next section. And this is, so I kind of already said all of this. We are this experimental mastermind. And the goal here is to empower every single person on this call to take the steps that they need to in order to visualize and manifest exactly what it is they want to create in their lives financially. So it starts with you. So what I want to do is take a second and go around and let every single person have a chance to speak. We're going to start with your name. Then we're going to start with who, or not who are you? Who are you? Where are you? And then one thing that you would love to change about either yourself or your situation this year. So who would like to start?
I can go ahead and kick it off, Kemi.
Let's get it. Go, girl.
So I'm Allie. I'm currently located in Northern Virginia, but I'm actually moving to North Carolina in July. Really excited about that. One thing that I want to change, always better positive self-talk. That is one thing that propels us forward. So that's what I'm looking to do.
Amen. Bless up. That is awesome. All right. Who is next? If no one says anything, I'm going to call y'all. So
I can go.
Okay, Madiha, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Madiha Ali. I'm from Miami, Florida. And one thing I would like to change this year is to be more present, to enjoy where I'm at, and set clear boundaries, healthy boundaries. That's about it.
Amazing. Thank you, Madiha. And we just had Rob join with WealthPlan, so I just want to give him a quick shout out. Hi, Rob. Yes, we're so excited. Everyone's excited to hear from you. I just gave you a phenomenal introduction.
Oh, God. I just saw that.
It's all good. We're super excited. We're just doing quick icebreaker now. Did anybody else want to go next?
All right. So my name is Pete. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. One thing I like to change is just enjoy life a little bit more, travel more, and just spend a little time on me. Just kind of have more me time, not work so much, and just concentrate on life and just enjoying it.
Awesome. Love that. Okay, and Amanda?
Hey, what's up? I'm Amanda. I am in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and I'm actually also going to move soon to be closer to family. And I had a job offer that's going to be changing things financially in a really good way for me. So that's exciting. And so one thing I like to change is, and especially with the momentum of the new job, is just like daily habits, like routines. Like I get, some days I'm like on it. And then, a couple days go by, not as on it. And I think I'd like to have more of a commitment around some morning routines to make sure that I'm always meeting myself at my best self so I can keep getting better.
Amen. That's phenomenal. And that's really what it's all about: consistency, daily habits. I just had somebody, in case I don't know, I just went viral on TikTok. But anyway, I had somebody asked me on a video, they said, what did you do to work out? And it's funny when people ask that, because it's like, there's only so much you can do to lose weight. It's like you work out and eat less. Like that's pretty much what it comes down to. But, it's about consistency. That's the hardest part. So thank you for sharing that. All right. Next, I'm seeing Purdy.
My name's Purdy from Miami, Florida. I have a long list. So one of them is to be present in the moment and just be more kind to myself. Like I'm really good at cheering people on, pushing positivity, but then I'm finding I'm not doing the same for myself. So I'm like, people tell me, you're really hard on yourself. I'm like, what? No, I don't think I am. But I'm starting to realize I was. So just being more kind to myself, because I'm good at being kind to others, and just being really present, just alike, literally. Just want to be alike.
All right. I love that. I love that. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Next I see
You're welcome.
Darren. What's up, Darren? He is an OG achiever. What is up? Oh, you're driving. I didn't hear you. It's okay. If you're driving, don't worry about it. I don't want you to like,
It's okay. I'm not looking at you guys. Kind of, sort of, not really.
oh gosh.
But
Be careful.
no, I'm not gonna take too long. I just jumped on to say hello. My name is Darren Price. I just happened to have a choir rehearsal, so I'm getting my bearings back. But some things that I want to change. I heard a lot about being present. I am one of the OGs that can be said that I am in the group. I feel like already, but some things about being more consistent in daily routines, meaning committing to actually getting some cardio every day. I think that's one of my bigger goals for this year, and to stick to my goal because I want to retire myself as a full-fledged entrepreneur, and before I'm 50 in about 2.5 years, and then I'm going to stop right there.
I love that. And you're in the perfect place for sure. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Darren. Robert or Kelly, do either of you want to share?
Yeah, sure, I can share. Just one thing that I want to change about myself this year. Oh, sorry. I'm Robert. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. And just one thing that I really want to change about myself going into this year is, as somebody had touched on, just being consistent and just being able to just really show up for myself, and also being able to tell myself the truth whenever I commit to doing things, and being able to just really follow through on everything that just pops into my mind and that I really want to accomplish. So those are a couple things that I want to change about this year.
That is fire. And that is like one of the biggest things, like the key to self-growth and self-development is telling yourself the truth and actually following through. So I love that. Anybody else? I said there's 2 Roberts, so if the second Robert wants to go.
I wasn't sure. No, this is great. I mean, honestly, I would say, well, let me introduce myself as well. I'm Robert, either or is fine.
Sorry, Rob, whatever.
As long as you don't call me Bob, we're good. I'm from LA, so born and raised here. And I would say one thing as well, definitely, that I would like to really just focus on and commit to here is really just building with one another and providing value. You know, I would say for those of you who work remotely or have not been working remotely, it can be quite lonely just because, you know, you're kind of just behind the computer screen all day long. So really just networking, meeting with everyone, seeing what you guys are doing here is great. I think it's great. And just me as a spectator here, I mean, I'm loving it. But I would say one thing for me is really just that it's bringing more value and really just networking and getting to meet more people.
Wonderful. That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name's Lynn Terria. You guys can call me Lynn if you want. I'm in Leesburg, Virginia. And one thing that I'd like to change this year, but like a few things. I want to change like my mindset. I need to be more positive and, like Purdy said, kind to myself, because I can actually be quite mean. And I want to actually embrace taking this moment in my life to just be still and actually just take my time with things instead of like trying to rush myself to meet these goals. That's all.
Go next. So yeah, what's going on, guys? My name is Kelly. I go by KJ. Shout out to everybody, you know, living down south in the Sunshine State. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm currently in Brooklyn right now. And what is one thing I would like to change this year? Really, the mental barriers I've put on myself ever since I was a kid. And that's you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, all those setbacks for myself that I would like to overcome. You know, Kim, I can relate to your transparency when you said, you know, you had suicidal thoughts. You know, I was in a dark place. So for you to bounce back, you know, you're a very powerful person, including everyone that's been through that. You know, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's gone through that. And yeah, man, it's just like what Rob said, making an impact and networking with, you know, people that have the same mindset. So that's pretty much it.
That is, yeah, like Ali said in the chat, that is so powerful, and 100%. It is, yeah. I mean, it's a grind, and getting yourself out of that situation is not easy. But
Absolutely,
congratulations to you too for being able to pull yourself out of
it. We all the same, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the top. So,
Amen. Shelly, I don't know if she's on or if she's
No,
able to.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, girl. Okay, I hadn't heard from you, so I just wasn't sure. I was like, she might have walked away.
Oh, I'm here. I'm Shelly. I live in Tampa, Florida. Hey. One thing I would like to change this year, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller, I'm just kidding. One thing if you didn't get that, sorry. One thing I would like to change for real, my health. That's a real thing right there. Yeah, that's my top priority.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love that. And yeah, that is a big thing for a lot of people, is our health, our wellness. We actually just had a really big focus on that in a different container I'm in. So I hope everybody is staying on top of their health, because without your health, your wealth doesn't really matter if you're not around to enjoy it. Wonderful. So let's keep moving forward. I want to thank everybody for sharing. I know for some people that was like a momentous occasion to like speak on a call. Whoa, great job. We all did it. And I'm really looking forward to learning more about your stories as we progress. There's a lot of people that I really don't know well on this call, but that's going to change soon. So I'm excited for that. So I want to get into this slide here. It's healing your money story. Can everyone still see this? Thumbs up. Wonderful. Healing your money story. So I included this YouTube video, which obviously I'm not going to play right now, but what's going to happen, this slideshow is going to go out to all of you, as well as this recorded recap, so that you'll have access to it. And if you click on that link, basically you're just going to see a video of this YouTuber that I came across. She pretty much has the exact same process that I use for just regular general manifesting, but she like specifically applies it to finance. So I was really intrigued by the way that she was able to communicate that. And so we're just going to do a quick group mindset session around some of these beliefs that we might have about money. And we're not going to spend too much time on it. So I'm just going to give you guys like 30 seconds to a minute to just sort of think about it. And then anyone that's willing to share is welcome to share. But ultimately, this is something that you should definitely revisit when you get the link. Definitely check this out on your own and watch that video. It'll definitely help with some of the mindset like we talked about in the beginning. So one of the important things that we have to realize about healing your money story is that many of us have these underlying beliefs about money, whether it's something that was, passed on to us from parents or family. Like what is the quintessential, can we stop at McDonald's? You got McDonald's money? That response. Okay, I see people smiling, so I'm not the only one that went through that. So that kind of mindset, or hey mom, can we get this toy? Oh no, we can't afford that. Hearing those things as a child, those types of statements or that kind of mentality really shapes the mindset that you start to build and grow around money. And sometimes it turns into scarcity mindset as an adult. So those are the things that we want to sort of sit down and recognize. For me personally, I'll offer some examples. For me personally, I used to be very scared of checking my bank account, because I always assumed it was either going to be an overdraft or I was going to have not enough money to pay for what I was trying to pay for in the moment. That was an impulse buy that I probably shouldn't have been paying for anyway. That's one that I've been through. I've also had the experience of not wanting to track my money. I've had the experience of, just being very impulsive with my spending. And as soon as I get, however much money, like I have to spend it, so those are some of those things that I was able to recognize and then, put down on a paper and realize, okay, these are thoughts that are limiting beliefs that I need to start changing. So I want to give us like 30 seconds to just kind of do that right now. If you have any money story beliefs that you want to share, feel free to come off mute anytime. But I'm just going to give us 30 seconds to just kind of think about some of the beliefs that we have about money. And if anybody wants to share, feel free to come off of mute. So, does anybody have any examples of unhealthy or limiting beliefs that they've told themselves previously about money or mindset? Anything anyone wants to share?
I definitely have one. I think that you're kind of instilled, definitely when you're younger that you have to go to school, get a job, and like figure it out. And then, but what happens if you don't like that plan, or what happens if the job that you get, you're like, I don't want to do this. It was really crazy, kind of just remembering and figuring it out as an adult. Like, you can do things that you like and earn money. So yeah, that was huge. Finally realizing that you can do things that you like and earn money, and not wake up every morning and be like, oh my God, it's like 8 o'clock again. Why? So that's mine.
I love that. Thank you so much, Allie. Does anyone relate?
Yeah, and like charging enough for my services. I'm like lowballing myself all day because especially because like I live in a small town, so I've known people for years, and a lot of my business comes through word of mouth, and I just feel like it's this small town vibe that so and so knows so and so, so I just need to give them a and I'm just realizing the last couple of years especially that I'm like, and I really need to reshape how I view my services and why they're worth what they are.
Amen. I went through that recently too, so I'm with you right there on that. I was literally told a couple days ago, you need to up your prices. I was like, really? So that's great. Lynn, I saw you raise your hand, and then we'll go on to the next slide.
Yes, I've had that as well. Like for me, I'm interested in counseling and stuff, and I have some experience in social work. So I was thrown for a loop when I realized how low they pay you. And I said, "We're all the stuff that we're doing?" So I had to readjust with that. And I think I'm also readjusting from how I used to think about money when I was in college. Like I always had that mindset of, okay, I get paid in the next couple of weeks, or I'll get back home and then I'll work a little bit and I'll have some money and then I can get those shoes or whatever. So I'm trying to break that impulse buy to really understand the importance of having savings. Like a lot of people apparently have 3,000 or more, at least in their savings, in case something happens. And, I think that's something I really need to start doing.
And are you trying or are you doing it?
I'm trying. This is one of my resolutions.
No, that was the wrong answer. Yoda, do or do not. We do not try. I love it. She knows what I'm talking about. She's one of my clients. All my clients, I tell them we don't say try around here. Wonderful. So we're gonna go to the next slide. This one, I'm not going to spend too much time on. I will send out some notes with this just because I'm staying cognizant of time and I really want to get to Rob and the rest of the team. But what we're going to do is just quickly go through these different streams of income so that everybody sort of is on the same page around, some of the ways that you can not only diversify, but that you can get creative around earning, because that's one thing that was just expressed, right? That we need to start changing our money mindset. And one of the ways that you do that is by finding multiple streams of income. I love that image of filling up a tub. If you have one hose going into the tub, well, something happens to that hose. That's it. That's all your income gone, right? But if you actually have multiple hoses going into, I guess a pool is a better illustration. If you have multiple hoses filling up a pool, if one hose goes out, it's not a big deal because you got all these other hoses coming in and filling up the pool and you're still moving forward. So it works the same way financially with your income streams. So the first one I'm going to go through is your earned income. And that's pretty basic. That's almost what everybody does. It's working a job, your wages, your salary, your tips, commissions, your profit income, which is earning from a company's core business operations. So that's if maybe you sell merchandise or you're teaching online courses or, you have any type of business that you started and you're creating a revenue from, that's profit income. Then you have, if you go down over here to the right, you have your side hustle income. And that's your direct sales, your network marketing, your affiliate marketing, your DoorDash, Uber, Lyft. Those are things you sort of just do on the side of your job that might not necessarily, some of them can turn into passive income, but many times those side hustles tend to be very active, and they tend to be just a nice cash flow that you can do on the side if you either need extra cash or, you know, in some cases people use it as their primary income. Then we have our interest income, which is the lending money. So it's payment from your bank account, essentially, when you create an income based off of the interest. Like if you have a savings account, the bank will pay you for keeping your money inside of your bank account, essentially. Then you have your dividend income, which is owning stocks. So owning stocks, that's, you know, the stock market, and we will have we'll have Rob and Kelly go more into deep detail with that, which is going to be super exciting. That's one of the fortes that they have. They're well-rounded with finances, but that's one of the things that their group specializes in, is helping people learn about the stock market. So we're really excited to bring them to talk in just a moment. Then we're talking about rental income. So rental income is pretty much what everybody understands as real estate, right? So most people know about the real estate industry, and there's a lot of different ways to tap into that. So you can obviously be a realtor, or you can be a landlord. You can receive rent for a property that you own. Then we also have capital gain. So capital gain basically just means assets that are increasing in value. So, you know, it could be a painting, it could be stocks, it could be bonds, and, you know, it could be your LLC, your actual business, your household furnishings, antique items. Allie is actually starting her own business soon, doing, well, I don't know if it's antique. Is it antique or vintage?
Vintage, antiques, oddities, just all sorts of strange, crazy stuff.
Exactly. So that sort of thing, it increases in value over time. So that's capital gain. And then the last one, which I think is very relevant for a lot of people here that are either creatives into music, or, you know, if you want to write a book, things like that. The last one is your royalties. So royalties are really cool ways to earn passive and ongoing income a lot of times. Typically, it's because you're lending the use of your own intellectual property to a third party, and you can get paid off of that. So that's books, that's performing, that's music, patent, franchises, mineral royalties, everything under the sun. Does anybody have any questions or anything to add to that piece? Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys was the EBSI. So a lot of you are probably familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote this amazing book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that book and in his other book, Cash Flow Quadrant, he explains the cash flow quadrant, and it's 4 main ways in which cash flow is generated. So and the E is the I keep saying that. I did this earlier and I was like entrepreneur for E, and I'm like, that's actually the opposite of what E is. So E is actually employee. It stands for people that we talked about that, you know, do the earned income. So you're showing up and you're trading your time for dollars. Then we have S, which is self-employed or sole proprietor. That's somebody that owns their business, but they are pretty much the only person running the business, which means the business kind of owns them. A lot of those people in that quadrant tend to transfer over to the B quadrant, which is big business systems. And that is your Walmart, that is your Target, that is your Subway. You know, those are big business systems where, you know, people are able, whoever owns that company is able to sort of just, if they give themselves the option, they're able to sort of step away and have a team run the organization for them. And that way they're able to just go off and be free and do their own thing and maybe retire early. So that's usually the goal for most people. And then I is the other one that is very popularly understood. And I is investing. So if you're investing, then that is your primary source of income, and that is how you're generating money. That means you're making your money work for you and not the other way around. And that leads me to some visualization. So something I want to encourage, and we don't have time to really go through too much of this, but again, I will send you guys the slides so you can take a look at it on your own time. I just wanted to share a quick story. I actually, not just in preparation for this, but it was also kind of what made me, start this call and begin this group. I actually had a little bit of a manifesting experiment that I did on my own. So before I went on my trip to London, I was actually working on saving up for the trip because, it's London. And I basically was like, okay, what if I create a Pinterest board full of just $100 bills? Like, I'm just going to look at a Pinterest board full of stacks of $100 bills for it was only a couple days. And it was really crazy because then there was couple days after I started doing this, my dad came up and asked me, hey, is there anything I can help with? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm kind of just gearing up for this trip financially. He's like, oh, I got you. He just comes out and pulls out 5 $100 bills. And I was like, what? Okay. I'm like, this is a little bit too specific. So visualization works, guys. I would highly recommend it if you haven't. Just even if as an experiment, find something cool, manifest a cup of coffee or something. You would be surprised, the things that come up when you start paying attention to it. Awesome. I'm just gonna keep on moving. And then this is affirmations. So our affirmations are kind of the foundation and the basis of how I even started I Am Academy. And then here in this slide, I actually share with you guys some of the affirmations that I personally use towards money, towards finance. And I'll read out a couple of them. I say, I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources and on an ongoing basis. That's a Bob Proctor one, if you guys are familiar with him. I am spiritually ready to handle the level of wealth and abundance that is coming to me, which I think is really important. I could spend ages talking about that one, but I also like to say, I am aligned with the vibration of wealth and success. So that's just a little sample of what I use for my daily affirmations when I'm focusing on finance. And with that all being said, I want to now introduce to you guys a very special guest, or very special couple of guests that we have joining us. So Rob, you guys heard from him earlier. Him and Kelly are here from Ryan Leslie's group and organization, WealthPlan. And if you guys don't know who Ryan Leslie is, definitely you should Google him and just take a look. He's an amazing mogul. He's a music producer, and he is now a very successful and internationally respected businessman. And so we have some people from his team here that are here to just give us a little bit of a taste of what we have on the table in terms of investing, right? And then one thing I do want to highlight is the fact that this is something that I'm personally still working on as well. As I stated, for some of the people that weren't here in the beginning, this is the reason I started this whole group, was because this is something that I'm currently working on. So I felt like it would make a lot more sense to bring in somebody else that had experience and had a lot of results and had fruit on the tree, so to speak, to come in and give us a little bit of a lesson on money management and whatever else he wants to share. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then Rob, if you want to take it away, you are more than welcome to go ahead and give us a taste of your mindset.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I don't have slides prepared, so it's fine. Kemi, you can kind of keep yours slide up if you like, but definitely want to thank you again for bringing us here, and it's great to meet everyone here. I mean, this is actually my first time attending one of the I Am Academy calls, and actually this is great. So I would love to just continue joining these calls. Just personally, I think it's just powerful, but I appreciate you all for joining us. So as Kemi had mentioned, before we kind of kick things off, do any of you kind of have any experience investing in anything, whether it was like stocks or options or real estate or anything in that regard? Okay, Alexandra, some investments. Now, would you say that's more so stock, or is that real estate?
Sorry, I'm trying to come off mute. Stocks.
And did you start around the pandemic? Was that kind of like the initiator for you, or was it more?
I have actually always had a portfolio and I have somebody who manages it. But my husband and I have been looking more into a little bit after COVID, more stocks, and we're kind of, using like a Robin Hood and just taking a look and reading articles and what people are forecasting. So, but limited knowledge, but definitely cool.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So that works. Yeah, as with many of us, a lot of people really just started to kind of get familiar with the markets and feel like there's an opportunity there around the pandemic, which makes sense, right? If we're looking at other ways to bring in income, where would you look? Working from home, right? So just wanted to give you all just a little bit of a backstory in terms of how Ryan put together WealthPlan, a little bit more on myself, and then Kelly, if you want to speak a little more on your half as well. And then really just open the floor if you guys have any conversations, any questions that you want to have. It's more so just we're here as a service, as support, here as accountability partners. So I'm Rob. I'm actually one of the coaches at WealthPlan. And for those of you who have not heard of us, we are a financial literacy and wealth building coaching program. A lot of what we teach is through Ryan's personal experience with his mentor. So when he was, it's actually an interesting story. When he was at Harvard, he actually, there was a person at Harvard who was attending, and kind of word around campus was this guy was pretty much of a legend because he took his student loans, he invested those funds, he ended up doubling his money, paid off his student loans, and then took the remainder and grew to about $250,000 when he was still a graduate in Harvard. So everyone on campus was talking about this guy. His name is Dr. Sandy Green. He was Ryan's mentor. And Ryan really just reached out to him and said, look, what would it take for you to be able to teach me? Long story short, he was able to take Ryan under his wings and really just kind of teach him the strategies and the secrets that really helped him get to that 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure status with his portfolios and his businesses and things like that. And really, one of those things that you want to keep in mind when it comes to just learning about finances in general, whether it's just money management or investing or a combination of both, you kind of really have like two options, right? One of it is you can either go ahead and watch a bunch of, Bruce Lee movies and try to teach yourself all the skills that you need just through the mirror, or you can really try to seek out a mentor and someone who's like a Bruce Lee who can just teach you everything that he knows directly. And that was kind of the case with Ryan, and his mentor kind of taught him all that. And really, that's how the mentorship program and WealthPlan was built, was around just paying forward that information that he was taught from his mentor. So it's really, that the story is quite powerful, because once you kind of learn what it takes to really have your share of the markets when it comes to investments, it's not as complicated as it may seem, and it's not as intimidating as it may seem. The reason why it seems so intimidating and it seems just so foreign is because most of us haven't been taught the inner secrets, quote unquote, right? It's just information. It's available to everyone. The important thing is you just actually follow through on your commitment to learn and then really implement that when you have the opportunity to do so. So really, our program, it's multi-layered. It's really personalized just to you. It's tailored to what your goals are, what you're interested in, whether it's short-term profits, if you want to do some trading, whether it's long-term growth that you want to pass on to your loved ones, whatever the case may be. It's really just a combination of both when it comes to building your wealth, right? The most important component that I would say is really where I feel most of us probably find ourselves in, is really just the mindset around money, which leads to this call, because there's so much self-doubt as well as limiting beliefs that we have that we were just grown with from just family and not being taught the stuff in school, that you have access to the same information that all these 7, 8, 9-figure successful business owners and entrepreneurs do. The only difference is, are you able to get yourself in that circle so you have access to the same information? And once you kind of learn that and you learn how important the mindset and mentality is, you'll understand and you'll start building the confidence that you need to really get yourself going, right? It's even the smallest steps when it comes to moving things forward. So really what we want to focus on is what we call the cycle of C's, right? One of them is just to find the confidence that you need to know what you're looking for, and the confidence to know when you found that. That confidence eventually is going to lead you to the conviction that you need so you can make educated decisions in terms of, okay, where do I want to put my money so it can grow for me, right? Whether it's going to be in real estate, whether it's going to be in such and such stock, whether you want to invest it in a startup company that could potentially go public. You know, it's really up to you in terms of where you want to put your funds, but you want to build yourself to the point where you have that confidence and you know what you should be doing with the money that you work so hard for in your savings. So instead of really approaching the stock market and being like, hey, you know, Apple looks like it's doing great today, let me go ahead and buy some shares and throw a couple dollars at it. You want to look at it in the sense where if you had that conviction and you really knew what you were looking for, your money doubles, and that $4, right, could have been $40 or $400 or $4,000 or $40,000. So when you have that conviction and you have the confidence to know, hey, I really believe in this company, I want to hold it for the next 5, 10, 15 years. I'm not worried about any temporary movement in the stock. I don't care what the news says. I believe in the long-term growth of Apple. I believe in the products they can bring. I believe in the companies that they can acquire. They're going to stay at the forefront of innovation. I'm comfortable putting my money behind that company, right? Once you build that confidence and the conviction, then we want to get you to consistency. And this is another area that just takes time because it's a skill set and it's a mindset shift that comes into play. But really, once you start getting that consistency through just practice and showing up and asking questions and really just acquiring more information, that is something that becomes repeatable year after year after year after year. And you start building the confidence and the conviction and the consistency that you need. And then lastly, from there, you start getting yourself to a point of comfort and confirmation that you really know what you're doing, then is going to build that confidence that you need. So it's really like a cycle of C's that just goes around, and it really just starts with you just knowing, okay, if this is something that I want to take on or something that I want to learn or something that I want to build for my kids so I can pass on to them, and you know, they're good for college because I have money working for them in the markets, and it's going to grow a lot faster than the money is going to grow for me in my savings account, right? So these are things that you can kind of start working on. Definitely want to start thinking about what you want to do with the money that you work so hard for, and if it's something that interests you. It's not as complicated as it needs to be. It can be very, very simple. People tend to overly complicate it, but the moment you identify that opportunity, you know, it's something you definitely want to tap into and really build from there. So, you know, as I mentioned, we're here as, you know, a shoulder for you to lean on if you have any questions, anything that you need. We're definitely here to help out. Kemi does have a link to a free training video if you want to watch that. There's also my cell phone if you want to shoot me a text. If you have any questions, I can help out.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much, Rob. I really appreciate you being here and speaking and offering your knowledge, because that was really powerful what you just said. I want to see if Kelly had anything to share.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, Rob hit everything on the nail. I was once, you know, part of the program. And listening to you guys earlier speak about money management, you know, I like all of us on here, you know, we come from no silver spoon. So I've already had that mindset of, you know, because I didn't get anything handed to me. So the day I could, or the year I could, you know, work my first job, I was like, yo, I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? So when I started my first job at 15, working a summer job, and it was hard labor. So with the checks I was receiving, other than helping my mom out, I would just save my money, because I knew that, okay, if I accumulate the money I'm saving, then whatever I can get down the line, I can get, you know, whether it was a new cell phone or a car eventually when I'm in high school. Like, I knew how to save my money. But because of what you said earlier, or what Rob said earlier about the financial gap between saving and investing that, our parents didn't teach us because, their parents, our grandparents didn't teach them. So it's like nobody's fault. That's what we, all of us on here wish we could have took advantage of, because if we started working at a young age and investing our money instead of, saving and doing the traditional, earn, spend, and then save a little, if we would have invested that money in, in our top companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, etc., man, we would be set, whether it's, 6 figures or more or whatever, depending on how much you were investing at the time. So just now understanding, understanding the basics of that, investing and what it means to be your own boss and accumulate, long-term ownership in the companies you believe in, is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much what, runs the world is, all these companies that we use on a daily basis. But we was taught to be consumers and not investors of these companies that we use. So that's, that's just a piece of what we offer in WealthPlan. Also, for me, I come from I work with my hands. So like, I used to work for a furniture company, good paying job. And, you talked about real estate earlier. I'm also a real estate investor. I have my own investment property. For me to get to that place to buy an investment property, man, I was working 60 hours a week, 6 to 6, and it was tough. Like the money was, the money was straight and all, but the amount of impact I put on my body, man, lifting furniture, 3, 4, 4 floors. And I'm talking about heavy furniture, like recliners, like, the whole 9, anything you can think of. And, this was in Florida. And so, especially during the summer, everybody, down south, it gets hot. So it was rough, you know what I'm saying? So, other than investing, we also offer trading, and, day trading is, if once you actually understand what trading is, because a lot of people like to have a misconception about it. Day trading is not a way to, become a millionaire or to, earn a lot of money overnight. It's more so like understanding the system that we live in. And if you can understand that system that we live in and navigate the markets, you're no longer trading your time for money anymore. It's quite the opposite. You're trading your money for time. So you're getting your time back. So the amount of money, for me, and just being transparent with you guys, I was making anywhere from $700 to $800 a week without tips and, before taxes or whatever. So I was making anywhere from $700 to $800 a week. With our program, we're, we have evidence, we have proof. We got people making that in a day. And to be quite specific with you, in 30 minutes. So for me, once I understood the principle of that, okay, I'm not, for me personally, I don't want to get rich off this thing. I actually want to own my time back. I have a 5-month-old daughter. Rob has a baby on the way. So it's like, man, if we can get our time back to focus on the things that really matter, that's the most important thing in life is time. So yeah, I'm sorry for being all over the place. I get very passionate about this because I believe in the program we're in. And yeah, that's pretty much it,
Thank you. And I'm sorry, do you go by KJ instead of Kelly? I just realized that.
It don't matter, Kim. You can call me.
Okay, well, KJ, Kelly, whatever. Either way, what you said was also amazing, and thank you both of you guys for coming on and sharing your knowledge. I mean, such a huge value add. And if you guys want more information on WealthPlan or WealthPlan Pro, am I saying it properly? Because I butchered it before. Yeah. Sorry, Rob.
No, yeah. Pro is it's our coaching program, so it's more so one-on-one, personalized to you. So yeah. Pro is fine.
Okay, perfect. So WealthPlan Pro, or the free master classes, they do these really cool Zoom meetings with a whole bunch of people all around the country. And obviously Rob would have more information on that. I think is it once a month on a Wednesday? It's once I know it's on Wednesdays for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the WealthPlan Wednesdays, as we call them. They are the last Wednesday of every month. And those are open, so you guys can join them. So definitely, you can reach out to Kemi or myself. You have my cell number here. We'll get you a link just so you can enroll, add it to your calendar. If you want to join, great. If you can't make it, you can join the following.
Yeah. And those are really helpful. Even if you have no idea what's going on. I always say I like to learn through osmosis by being around successful people. So You can always just hop on and just listen in and just like start to learn and understand at least some of the lingo and some of the things that people are doing within the market. And it'll really help you with that mindset. So yeah, like you said, reach out to me, reach out to Rob if you have any questions. Super excited to share that with you all. And hopefully I'll see some of you on the next call. I think we have one at the end of this month, right? Or you guys have one. I said we, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this last part I want to share with everybody. So my intention is that eventually I would love this group to sort of come together regularly, whether it's the people, everybody here, obviously everybody here, I would love to see back again. But eventually we're going to start growing this mastermind, which I'm really excited for. And there's more people that wanted to make it tonight that either didn't make it for whatever reason, and we'll probably be back the next time we do this. So what I want to do is offer to everybody a challenge the next time that we meet, and we'll get out correspondence. We're going to do a little survey after this is done and find out when is best for everybody's schedule and time, because this is pretty late. Some people couldn't make it just because they have to be up in the morning, things like that. But I would love for everybody to take a few seconds, look at some of the options, maybe create your own habit or system that you want to commit to as an action item, so that the next time we come back to this call, we can share what we've been doing in terms of our progress for our money mindset. So that's what I want to sort of like leave you with for now. We have a couple slides left. If anybody has to go, I know it's almost 10 o'clock, so feel free to hop off. We will absolutely record this and make sure we post it for everyone. But real quick, I just want to popcorn for the people that are going to stick around. What is one thing off of this list that you think you're going to start with? Me personally, I will go first. I'm starting with, I already do a lot of this. I already track my finances pretty well. It's a matter of sticking to a budget. So I'm gonna actually create a budget. I'm gonna say stick to a budget. And that's gonna be my commitment for the next time we come together. Who wants to go next? Thank you, Lynn. I see you. Bye, girl. Anybody? Don't all speak at once.
Sorry, Pete, you go first.
All right. For me, it's just finding more ways to grow your income. Just like you were saying earlier, additional streams of income. Just continue to find more ways to do that. That's my new goal.
Awesome. So multiple streams of income, and so you should join us on the next call. Yeah, I should come through. It's gonna be lit. All right.
I was going to say, I'll directly piggyback off what Pete just said. As you mentioned, Kemi, I'm trying to start up my antique, vintage, oddity, blah, 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 whatever we're getting into. And my husband has this awesome idea. Don't think I'm crazy, because it's freaking cool. Shrimp farming. We're moving down close to the Outer Banks. I know I'm going to get some weird looks. I don't even care. It's awesome. Shrimp farming. So did you know that during the pandemic there was actually a shrimp shortage, and I believe it was for what we would call edible shrimp, as opposed to like bait shrimp for fishing. But we are big into fishing, so his friend and him are launching, probably in a few years, but a shrimp farming business. So us moving to our next house with more land, that's part of one of the things. So more streams of income. Sorry to be long-winded. Just pretty excited.
No, you're good, girl. Floor is yours. All right. Did anybody want to share real quick? I see a few people hopped off, so we have a couple more slides and then we're done. So if you want to stick around, that'd be much appreciated. But anybody else? Okay. All right. We are going to keep moving along. So this is just to wrap up. As you guys know, this is Kemi. I am Kemi. And this is I Am Academy. It is a company that I started last year all around goal setting, creating affirmations, and being in congruence with your identity and what you're speaking into existence, and manifesting your goals and dreams. So we are having a ton of things happening this year, as this is kind of like our kickoff year, so to speak. So I'm going to pass the mic off to Allie, and she's going to take you guys through a little bit of what to expect for the rest of the year, with a couple announcements.
Awesome. Thanks, Kemi. And everybody who's still on, thanks again. We won't be too much longer, but 2022 I Am Academy has been launched. Kemi hosted, as I'm not in Florida, her first content day, which is where all creators came out, had a great, networking event, and just, had a fun time. Also, what happened in 2022, we had our first goal setting summit. Something similar to this, where we all kind of came together before the new year, set some goals, listened to some awesome speakers, and just got in a great mindset to move forward with into 2023. And for March, we are hosting another content day, and that will actually be in Miami. Looking forward a little bit further out to April, Achievers Goal Setting Summit Check-in. This will be, a lot of the same people from the event in 2022, but we would love to have more people join, just to kind of get your mind right and keep it going. So we're really excited for that. Lastly, looking forward into July, we're having an I Am Academy Achievers Gala. More information on that coming, but really excited. And last but really cool thing I want to mention, if you go on iamacademy.info, we're actually having a merchandise, a contest. So every single time you purchase a piece of merchandise, you're entered into win. And what you win is really cool. You actually win like a cool free private I Fly, the indoor skydiving session. And there's more details on that. You can either, go by yourself or bring a friend, whatever you want to do. And then there's also, I want to make sure I'm getting everything, a VIP Platinum package day. And Kemi can provide more details on that, but that is just a full chock-loaded experience for you with I Am Academy, and it's just really incredible. So that's just our contest, but wanted to make sure I highlight it. So thanks, Kemi.
Thank you, Allie. And yes, that is a phenomenal opportunity. I have never been indoor skydiving. I've never been skydiving, period. But I assume this is like a good precursor. I'm one of those people that like rides all the roller coasters. I like the adrenaline. So we'll be having this experience together. If you buy any piece of merchandise, we just put in our first pre-order. So the first batch of people who ordered things is on the way. It's super exciting. But if you want to get in on that and be entered into the giveaway, definitely take a look at some of our merchandise, because a lot of people are really enjoying it. So I'm excited to move forward with that. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for attending this amazing session. This has been such a great time, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you to Rob. Thank you to KJ. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to Allie, who really helped me plan this and put it together, because at the end of the day, it's about rising each other up, right? What is that quote? The tide raises all ships, or whatever it is, what I'm trying to say. So all that being said, I think it's really important that we stick together, especially through, the journeys that we're all going through with this economy. And this type of topic is very important. So if you would like to join us on the next WealthPlan meeting, it's going to be, do I have a date I can give them, Rob?
It is, I will tell you right now, it is going to be on the 22nd of this month. So the last Wednesday of every month.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And
I'll
that's
bring the link, and we can send that out.
perfect. And it starts at 8:30 Eastern time.
Correct.
Perfect. Awesome. So that is it for now. If you guys want to stick around for a few more minutes, we'll open the floor for anybody that has questions, or anybody that has anything else that they would like to share with the group. But that pretty much concludes our night.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to share or ask?
I just want to say it was a pleasure meeting everybody. Hopefully I see all you guys on, attending our WealthPlan event, man. It's super impactful, man, every month. So can't wait to see you guys there.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Unless anybody has anything to add, feel free to chip in and interrupt. But we are going to go ahead and close down the call. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Take care, guys.
Go on.